So there has been a little bit of back and forth as of late between Conor McGregor and Alexander the Great Volkanovski. After Conor McGregor was interviewed recently, he said he wanted to remain extremely active in all weight classes: featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight. And he did mention Alexander Volkanovski's name. He said he did fancy a matchup within that division. And as we do know, within that division at featherweight, that's where Conor McGregor really came on board and really got a lot of attention for himself. And he walked through everybody at featherweight. That was a run that we'll definitely never forget. But him and Alexander Volkanovski have gone a little bit back and forth on Twitter. And it looks like Alexander Volkanovski is a potential contender to get this red panty night from Conor McGregor. Now, Alexander Volkanovski came out on Twitter in response to Conor McGregor saying he wouldn't potentially mind a matchup against him at some point in the future, and said that he would be keen to do that contest at lightweight. I think that's a very good decision by Alexander Volkanovski, chucking lightweight out there, because I think he knows and everyone else knows that there's just no way that Conor McGregor is going to be able to make featherweight again. When he was making featherweight all those years ago, he was a little bit younger and he just looked like an absolute skeleton when he was at that weight class. It was quite scary to witness. It did look like he might die on the scales quite a few times. So it didn't take long for him to move up in lightweight. And I think Alexander Volkanovski sees a potential matchup there with him at that division. And Alexander Volkanovski also said any weight as well. So he has potentially put the line out there to say, look, come and face me at welterweight or come face me middleweight, wherever you actually want to. And Alexander Volkanovski just reassured Conor within the little Twitter feed that they had that he'll compete at middleweight, he'll compete at welterweight, lightweight, or featherweight, because he has competed in all these weight classes before. So basically saying, look, I'm good to go. Whatever weight you want, let's get this done. And it's very smart of Alexander Volkanovski to be angling for this fight, because if Conor McGregor has said his name, he is in for a chance. Now, Alexander Volkanovski is doing the right thing here, angling for the fight a bit, having a bit of back and forth, which is the right thing to do. It puts himself within that picture. But in regards to this matchup happening anytime soon, guys, I can't really say that I see that happening. I mean, how can it? He's filming The Ultimate Fighter now. Conor McGregor is with Michael Chandler, and the show's just kicked off last night. So that'll take Conor out for the entirety of 2023. Apparently, he has re-entered the USADA testing pool already. So that means that he'll be scheduling to face Michael Chandler somewhere towards the end of the year. And as we know, Alexander Volkanovski is already scheduled to take on Yair Rodriguez, and he is hoping to get a rematch against Islam Makhachev by the end of this year. Because as it stands right now, Alexander Volkanovski is very, very active, but as we know with Conor McGregor, definitely hasn't been active as of late. Now, granted, he did say that he wanted to fight at least 4 times next year. Now, Conor McGregor has said this, and he's said this over and over for the last few years, that he hasn't been active, that he wants to fight 3-4 times a year, but it hasn't actually come to fruition. Last time that he actually did mean to fight 3 or 4 times a year was when he suffered a defeat to Dustin Poirier and snapped his leg, so he hasn't had a good run. Now, Conor McGregor is absolutely calling out everybody at this point in time. There is no shortage of opponents that he's called out, but unlike a lot of others, I think this one with Volkanovski does have a potential path to actually taking place, but we'll just see how the end of this year plays out. I do think if Alexander Volkanovski is successful later on in the year, if all the stars do align and he does end up beating Islam Makhachev for the title, which is going to be a very tough ask to begin with, because as we know, Islam Makhachev is an absolute champion, a very, very good fighter in the lightweight division. So it's going to be very tough for Volkanovski to get over the line against him. But if he does, you can bet your bottom dollar that Conor McGregor is going to be coming after Alexander Volkanovski. And that's why I can see a potential fight between these two taking place within the lightweight division. Because as much as Conor says, he wants to fight at welterweight and he doesn't want to cut all this weight anymore, if Alexander Volkanovski gets a victory over Islam and becomes the new lightweight champion, you can bet your bottom dollar that Conor McGregor will try and seize that opportunity to become a 2-time lightweight champion of the world. But what do you guys think the chances are of this contest actually taking place? Now, as we know soon, Alexander Volkanovski will be taking on Yair Rodriguez for the featherweight championship of the world. And if you want to check out the video and breakdown of that fight that I did, feel free to check that out just here. And I've also got a link to that video in the description below. But if you guys like this sort of content, please feel free to hit subscribe, but only if you are interested in the latest MMA news. And for everyone that's been following me, you're awesome. Hope you all have a good day and take care.